You know, wine and winemaking has been a passion of mine for a long time. I learned to make wine from a small, tiny little book that I bought many years ago, about 45 years ago. And the passion for wine, I think, goes back to my childhood. I had an aunt who made wine, and when she would visit us in Santo Domingo, where I grew up, she would bring wine to the family, and we as kids got to taste. And so I was curious about it, and I thought, it's interesting, and I think someday I want to do this. And so that's where that passion began. And so I've been making wine for about 45 years now. And so at one point I decided that I wanted to get a small place, small vineyard to make wine for family and friends as I had in the past. And as it turns out, the land was bigger than I thought, but it was such a beautiful piece of land that I just had to buy it. And so the majority of the land was planted with a vineyard, and here we are today. I didn't really start out with the idea that this was going to be a commercial venture, but that's what it turned out to be. And it just brings me a lot of pleasure to be able to fulfill a dream of the passion of winemaking, and I just thoroughly enjoy it. Before I purchased this land, this was a frog farm. So when we did the infrastructure for the vineyard, we had to dig all those ponds out of concrete, and we had to dig all that out and break all that up and get rid of it, haul it away, and that was quite a job. And so yeah, but that's interesting. I don't know that there's too many frog farms left anywhere, but who knows? So yeah, so that's what that was. And the vineyard was planted in 2004. We have 15 acres planted. We've been fortunate since we've been open. We've entered our wines in numerous competitions, Los Angeles, Orange County, San Diego, San Francisco, etc. And we've been fortunate to win a multitude of medals, including double golds, silvers, etc. So we are proud of that.
Why do you think that is?
I think the quality of our wines is good. I want to say that I really pay attention to the vineyard and to the winemaking process. I had a goal of making ultra premium wines, and that's, I believe, what we have. In fact, I have a bottle here, which I will show you. This is a 2014 Cabernet Sauvignon, and it has a description of the wine on the back, what it pairs with. It's just a wine that I'm very proud of. This is a gold medal wine as well. So.
Is that one of your paintings on the label?
Yes, this is one of my paintings on the label. Yes. Thank you for pointing that out. And this other wine here, this is again, a vintage 2016 Rosé of Merlot, and it is an estate wine as well. Description, beautiful color.
I mean, clearly you're kind of a Renaissance man, because you're passionate about wine, but you also paint in oil, right?
I do. I am a painter. I've been painting for 17 years. It's something that I guess at the time, although I don't know how I do it sometimes, but I fit it into the schedule. I went back to school as an adult, and after I got my master's degree, I thought, okay, now I have a little time to do something else. And so that art was part of the agenda, and that gave me the time to go to school and learn art. And so I've been, like I said, for 17 years, I've been painting. Yeah.
So you're formally trained.
Yes, I am formally trained as an artist. So about 4 years ago, I was having lunch with some friends right across the street from where our vacant lot is on Main Street. And so for years I had, in fact, it was in writing, I wanted to have an outlet for the winery at a place that was perhaps a pedestrian type of place, Pasadena, Old Town Pasadena, Santa Monica Promenade, a place like that. But luckily, in our own backyard is the Old Town Newhall redevelopment area, and that's where we are located today. And right then and there, I decided, because I looked across the street from the restaurant we were having lunch, and there's that vacant lot with a sign on it, and I thought, what a coincidence. And it just hit me. Perhaps this is what I should do, is purchase this lot and develop a restaurant and tasting room as an outlet for our wines. And it's turned out that way, and we're very proud, and we're anticipating opening that venue 4th of July. And of course, that is in the plans, and I hope it comes true. We're working towards that. It's a 3-story building, and the top floor is going to house our tasting room. The building has 2 elevators, one in the front for the general public to come up to the top floor, to the rooftop tasting room, and the back elevator that goes, it's a service elevator that goes down to the restaurant floor, where waiters are going to be picking up the food that they will bring up in the elevator to the top floor. So the tasting room has a capacity of 20 inside, but the rooftop has a capacity of 101. So food will be served there, and I think it's going to be a great venue. Food and wine, right? We're going to have our customers, our club members, and everyone visiting out in the open air, and we have views of the mountains. And so I thought recently that we should have an elevator that is a see-through, so I decided to make that elevator mostly in glass as much as we could. And I say that because of the proximity to the other properties next to us, and the property lines and so on. We could only have so much glass, but anyway, we will be able to see through that elevator, sitting under the trellis there, looking through the elevator, and be able to see the mountains. And I think that's going to be an attractive feature of that 3rd floor, that open air and that sense of openness and a view of the mountains. The 2nd floor is going to house some offices. In fact, the architect who designed the building is going to have an office on that floor. We, as a winery, are going to have an operations room there. We will be licensed there also as a winery, kind of a second winery. And then the front of the building the front of that 2nd floor is going to have another 2 offices. And so there's only 1 space left to rent on that 2nd floor at this point before we even open. So that's a good thing. And of course, the restaurant on the 1st floor. And we're anticipating that, well, of course, it's going to have a half horseshoe bar, and it's going to have a private dining room there as well. It's capacity of 6 because that's all the space we had available, and of course we need a certain amount of room in that for traffic inside and safety and so on. And so the restaurant itself has a capacity of 82. We have a sectional door that opens, it's a glass door that opens to the sidewalk, and we're going to have dining as well on the sidewalk. On somewhat limited, there's probably 5 or 6 smaller tables out there, but it's still sidewalk dining, and that's a nice feature, especially these days, and opening that door and being out in the open a little more. So we're looking forward to that as well. So we've had events here at the winery that we intend to also continue to have on Main Street. And of course, there, with more versatility, we may do different events. The venue could be used for either small weddings or receptions or corporate events. And so we're thinking of, again, continuing some of the things that we've done here at the winery, but in a place that is more conducive to that, because there will be a kitchen pretty much on premises where food is going to be brought up to the top floor. And so we will do different events. We may even have some live music once in a while, things like that. Yes, and we'll bring back the paella days and things like that. So it's all, of course, thinking about the wine and food pairings that we will be doing. We might even do wine classes, things like that. It's left to the imagination, but we will certainly be coming up with a lot of fun things there, for sure. The restaurant downstairs is going to be serving kind of a continental, maybe a little Caribbean fusion. We haven't put the menu together yet, but we are presently working with a chef who's going to be putting that together with us. And there's a restaurant consultant on board, and so that's coming in the next couple of weeks. We will have that menu ready because we need to purchase equipment around that. Something I didn't know, but that's something that obviously, that's why we hire professionals to guide us through this. Santa Clarita is going to have its first rooftop tasting room. There are other tasting rooms in, for instance, downtown Los Angeles, at the very top of the high-rises, places like that. There's several, but nothing like this. This is going to be unique on Main Street, Old Town Newhall. I know Main Street is going to be a success. We expect that people who visit us are going to walk away with an experience. We want to bring an experience. We want to bring food and wine in a friendly atmosphere where everyone who visits is going to feel like they've had a real good experience and will want to come back and bring their friends. We're looking forward to that.